My am breaking down judgments to Mr. Santebe Kundi no say akwakoye and this is a former tour official. We want to be them 30 years. Now obi akoda jail anya ade bia de bia but said eba yin na betumi esua bibia from ne who the facts of the case no. First and foremost, doom so home bribe because at the NEC between 2014 2015 time and Ghana would doom so energy crisis no. Into although yambo be any importing woman no, the report no prosecutor in the case of president of court say some of the information no mean emails no case so mutua $1 million ama power minister. Ntibusa honsa hwana na ye power minister between 2014 and 2015 na wafa answer no again no emails so mu ye ni nyina no mo say Mr. Santebe because no on person Goldman Sachs for no ebehu nto ne ne co-conspirators no kanana scheme bebre including using instead of official Goldman Sachs email address omo use private emails omo be shell companies and omo di sika no fofa ho at a point. According to State Department records, no, omo 5 officials be Tvghana government officials echo check say omunko inspect power machines no. Obia je $5,000 go ne bottom. In order to
now the NPP in Canada no is calling an investigation into the Ghanaian officials what bobo ones go US and then why and some but once I share video from obi was here we are. Chawadi comment section so the news. Now be back Canada Ramon come one or Start TV. Well, if you poco of Bimlady, then come obi odi. Then when there was this investigation or quite bear it to me with certain people be especially one person we offer as Santebe with regards to some power deal be bribe case be I don't know the meaning no also so that there or ya other JJ or by JJ kura US war. Now according to information no if you poco of Bimlady to me site as something who there or a doom so bribe case. It happened during the first term of the NDC ban. But then, you told that during the case, even there was a part which was being cited on Business Insider Africa. They allegedly discussed paying $1 million to Ghanaian Minister of Power, who oversaw key approvals for the project, and another $250,000 to the minister's senior advisor. The scheme also included all expenses paid trip to Turkey for 5 Ghanaian officials to inspect equipment for the plant power plant. You mean there during the Doomsday time, in a abandoned pedal or solve Doomsday, but in trying to about solve Doomsday, then send me back. Oh no, I don't owe to an amount being 10. In the bro to an amount 10. Even what phone with the year you do maybe. I don't know one queer, honestly, so be no one can. Now, business inside Africa is a two no. And if you popo of him lady kohunda may issue no or blooding in her. Now, did you have crying there? There is one discussion referenced $250,000 in bribes distributed to several individuals, including $46,000 paid to members of parliament. In another exchange, a co-conspirator said one recipient was waiting for the holy rain, a coded reference, prosecutor said, to the promised bribery money. In the chair, what's the one who come up or why Butuma today? Abraham Abrafofo no ye investigation. Investigation no, it me wo there when jina fa kro. Chere, so wo baka sikasam wo baka bribe ho sama or ya de wo holy rain. Hey, chere amanfo kita tactics pound. No ono in a way boy investigation NPP or Canada record what drop a press release be a press statement. And a press statement no. Also there NPP Canada calls for full investigations into Ghanaian officials referenced in the US Asante Beeko power deal bribe case. In the Asante Beeko no de ono no haka. But then in painful bi wabo minister stability wabo official nkofu bi wondin. Chede why no hu hran. Inti yepade ye hu de hwana ono na NPP branch wo Canada. Wo gbegbebu nsam no do. Now according to letter na another press release no. Also there, the Ghanaian side of the case must be investigated. Now, the New Patriotic Party Canada has taken note of the conviction of the former banker Asante Kweku Beeko by the U.S. federal jury in connection with the scheme. This development raises serious questions that cannot be ignored by the government of Ghana. Whilst Mr. Beeko's conviction does not by itself establish the guilt of any Ghanaian official who was on any trial, The evidence and allegation concerning public officers demand a credible, transparent, and independent investigation in Ghana. Nti kyerɛ sɛ ɔyɛ adze a wamma panyin biara fi Ghana wɔnka gyina court dɛ wɔnka yi asɛm biara na but dɛ wetu mu abobɔbɔ dɛ nkurɔfo bi so wɔyɛ connected a ɛna ɔkyerɛ dɛ either dɛ asante bɛɛko no either dɛ wagye atom na ɔbɛkɔ jail because ɔmpɛ dɛ ɔbobɔ binom wɔn dzin anaa dɛ either dɛ obinom wabɔ n'ano anaa dɛ binom wɔyɛ yɛnya du akyiri but sɛ paa dɛ obi wetum wama wayɛ clear dɛ nyɛ nankosi na ɔdzi bɔn no na mmom no wɔn a wɔdzi bɔn no wɔntum nhyɛ da mbɔ wɔn dzin dze a ɛna ɔkyerɛ dɛ sɛ yɛ call for full investigation a dama dzi no bɛpɔ yi. Now, also that the Ghanaian side of the case must be investigated. The conduct examined by the U.S. authorities reaches back to 2014 and 2015, a period where Ghana was confronting severe electricity crisis, commonly known as doomsday. The relevant power agreement was negotiated and approved during the Mahama administration. Evidence presented in the U.S. described discussions and payments involving Ghanaian officials at different levels, including alleged payment or internal payment connected with senior government and power sector officials and members of the parliament. NPP Canada believes Ghanaians deserve clear answers. Who were the officials referenced with evidence? Who were the officials referred to the evidence? Who received money? If anyone, what official decisions were influenced? Were public funds or Ghanaian? Chade, this side you put it. Oh, I didn't pa. There, the investigation why. Next way to Muhammad Yehu there. Oh, nem sector minister be kaho. Some Ghanaian top officials be kaho. Now come on, will it in Poko baby? One more bribe sika. What kind of holy rain? Oh, Charlie, you have to make the holy rain ready. Or them a holy rain here. Oh, you ready? You know, Chade, that man painful work up upon home. It is a US abanonye onye mba that side. So it means there are some nobody will court. US authorities are not concerned about one money 1 year, but they are concerned about Obia or share Madame as in the sea. I want to some no one. In the NPP Canada branches there, yes, you are interested in the side na Ghana for no pay for being so what born more you did ambono. Because say a wabenim, that's what about the presidency, never wabenima. Only there a boama bonibi kodo. Now, accountability must not have a political color. The Mahama administration has repeatedly declared its commitment to fighting corruption and recovering public resources. That commitment must be demonstrated consistently, including when allegations concerning persons who served under an NDC government. NPP Canada therefore calls on the Attorney General and appropriate investigation institutions to formally obtain the relevant evidence from the U.S. authorities and conduct a thorough investigation into the Ghanaian dimension of the case. Where the evidence clears an individual, that fact should be made public. Where credible evidence establishes criminal wrongdoing, the law must be applied without fear, favor, or partisan consideration. It is there. What to was afraid Attorney General answer na more by any way. What a attorney general there NDC abanabado say kono bi na obi yebete da obaba kono bi na ebi no pede wotu ana mona yanga say yehu Joseph Yamin no anya abanga hu semseme be was the galamse hu semseme bi was the yabadza abadze bi yenye yehu hwe but there wotu ma chere ampa so wan kasa pokura hunu yimpokura wore ya galamse ne tiram John the man mama kan no. There, it is very true that even the NDC people are even involved. That illegal mine and yama. No, chade. We do better although too much biom there. Yes, or you committed to not some no okay. Not that Ghanaian deserves the truth. No look we know also there. If any public officials exploited that crisis for private profit, financial benefit, it would amount to a grave betrayal of public trust. That is why these matters must not be reduced to partisan exchange. Or allowed to disappear from the national agenda. NPP Canada is not calling for political witch hunt. We are calling for facts, names, evidence, due processes, and accountability. The U.S. jury has reached a verdict concerning Mr. Beko. Ghana must establish the truth concerning any Ghanaian public official implicated by credible evidence. In the Chade, we know that the central question is simple. Would the government follow the evidence wherever it leads? Even when it leads towards officials who served under the previous Mahama NDC administration. This was signed by Felix Apia Kwan. It is nkɔmɔ a ɔredzi dɛ sɛ etum hu dɛ dum so tum bagana ma ɔno dɛm no obi tum didi ho dɛ wɔndidi ho kwa so tum no ɔdze yaa ma ɔnya no ho wie ma nyɛ ɔno bɔkɔ tin na ɔyɛ a ɛna ɔno sɛ wɔkye nyimpa kora a na sɛ nyimpa 10 na wɔdzi dɛm adwuma no a ɛna ɔno wɔde time 10 nyina na wɔdze ka ho because one person cannot go to prison wabra 9 wɔda fie dabi. If you are involved, you have to pay. Because $46,000, $250,000, hey, $1 million, hey. If you're popular program, in the video, no, watch it and some no miss more queen. But was share video phone will be WhatsApp maybe at your you can see if you're popular, maybe
My am breaking down judgments to Mr. Santebel Kundi and this is a former tour official. We want to back with them 30 years. Now obi akoda jail anya ade bia de bia but said eba ye na betumi esua bibia from near who the facts of the case no. First and foremost a doom so home bribe because at any see between 2014 2015 time and Ghana wo doom so energy crisis no. Into although yambo be a importing woman no the report no prosecutor in the case of presenting wa court no say some of the information no munya emails no ka so mutua $1 million ama power minister nti busa ho sa hwana na ye power minister between 2014 and 2015 na wafa answer no again no emails omo ye ni nyina no mo say Mr. Santebel because no on person Goldman Sachs for no ebehu nti one ni co-conspirators no kanana scheme bebre including using instead of official Goldman Sachs email address omo use private emails omo be shell companies and omo di sika no fofa ho at a point. According to State Department records, no, omo 5 officials be Tvghana government officials echo check say omo inspect power machines no. Obia $5,000 go ne bottom. In order to secure parliament, say parliament and approve the transaction. Okay, say doom so time no. Yes, our agreement in to emergency power arrangement. Until that was a parliament and 10 near approve it. Sa approve and you know mutua $46,000 to MPs. Omambo MPs until you can go and find out say at the time between 2014 2015 energy committee MPs near hwanom hwamo na call tech no wankasa fa wo again State Department records no mo kwade no money age o secure judgment this mind is a jury trial because a federal issue omo chese omo to omo boy investigation because omo use language in email correspondence Mr. Santebel ne co-conspirators no some person mu di sie mo obi ehun say bribe ho asem no mo ka so mu use language so it will rain near the ni na mu decode no mu say iska ho asem e na omo ka at a point no omo tua $250,000 to various officials government officials near the any State Department for nakasa can say government officials any techie company no omo tua ma omo out of size can they move $46,000 no call parliament one enti omo can say the entire Goldman Sachs be pay asem we nyina mo ne say Goldman Sachs so no ono so ye business ba Ghana nti omo yes omo so mbe involve omo hu sa business transaction no enti America interest ba mu kire say omo ye international bidding company be around the world because prosecutor no ka say na we are a global village in the American companies bidding will be mu it has to be fair and balanced but in this case because of Santebel ne ye ya o ye scheme no kana nane adwene na one nkrofo afa so mbegi sika di no mbeye scheme apehu scheme o ma process na anye fair because enka ye fair anko bia game but we dey omu kotue sika ma take for no omu tue bi ma parliament omu tue bi ma minister ni nyina ka ho na ebomu a $1 million no enu nti ama anye fair to Goldman Sachs na mind you no the entire US omu de ne call ho no because we are American citizen o say Ghanaian citizen and o ye adwuma so ma Goldman Sachs no ye adwuma ma o mo enti say wo ade na wo ye no affect American interests first and foremost America will jurisdiction over you but what say American citizens America has jurisdiction over you what I say now so mo de ne ba no be face company now so ye adwuma o mo no so companies will rules and regulation when you say broche companies o mo ntua bribe and this one wow emails me ade o mo decode ye nyina che say we o tua bribe at a point prosecutor na say mo kai say verdict we o manya na o metimi convict papa and very significant for them for a long standing commitment say o mbe root out corruption nti abrofo de o mo fight corruption and that's what I'm saying that this is a big blow to President Mahama oral no if oral no indeed is fighting corruption This is also an NDC government official, a Ghanaian official. A good Ghana can say any first and foremost. A good NDC abaying so any massy. A good Yen Ghana for so any massy. And you know, not too much the politics, but let's go into the legal issue. This is happening in the Eastern District of New York. The defendant abused his access to high level of foreign government officials. See, Papa, or see because on him on government officials what relationship or what a closeness, he abused it. And as an investment banker, in a prestigious American firm, to greedily line his own pockets. Until out of greed, just when the Obenya Sika, been an almost sending email, say, and this cano, it go rain. What I say, engaging in bribery damages the reputation of businesses and destroys fair competition. And almost can be FBI for were involved, but Beku intentionally, Mr. Sante Beku, so shared that body Trimopo lied to his company, Dintroch and the company, no, to continue his scheme. The FBI will not tolerate dishonesty or corruption from anyone who wishes to disturb the business market. You know, a woman so because when FBI from whom they can on which you are bribe, no, but I'm say in the business ecosystem, no, if you as a company be a part of it, until anybody who person wunya hu kwanti person will say sa market no na hu kwan wunya hu didi no the FBI definitely has an interest, especially when it involves a adwuma am American company no. It's sad because Mr. Asante Bekonya Akra 52 and kodem 30 years the family. And the reason why I'm saying is that this is a big blow to President Mahama government. Already President Mahama bayan kasa sa eba sadie we enam ho chen dada ena we so abeka ho so ho. It's President Mahama must do a lot to purge himself and his government of the perception say we idea around the government. But like I'm saying, court records no omukotu $5,000 for power companies. Any identity specific government officials were mentioned. Position power minister your bone position, you know. Sa government officials 5 no mukoje $5,000 no your mudin so who say two who say kwaku menu ni ade. But these were all the names that were mentioned in Omo court records now. By and America so they be a public record, especially we Ghana cry near court records are public, you know. You can get this information, the details of it, and normally court. So this is a very big blow to Ghana. Well, our refinery boss, Uni Goldman Sachs, former worker, jailing now one here, become 30 years, no. I think say NDC, former ministers, MPs, no. Omonda papa na say one snitch because enkobeti me plea deal. America case bia obenya bia usually no you can do a plea deal and can imagine say papa a plea deal and o decide say onko no nko abeko jail potentially be 30 years enkobe snitch obi a waji scan be chief directors, MPs, former ministers, former government officials, presidential staffers na do bi oji scan be bia no obegudinya kabaina. We have about 50 lists or more because me can report on State Department for website so every for say a lot of people were involved, never be played, high ranking government officials. And me and my politics reporting kakrano, you can see say mostly for African countries they are contractor nenye omo ye civil servants and a few other sectors no but na politicians any year civil servants be chief directors near those who for we blog to we the command minister on sign just all the bibia to so also the bibi to so nti wo share be for report mum say it's a grand scheme ye che no UK no mo extradite no eno nti na sesi ayeka say Omagene passport had natum. In fact, normally America ye chu be near convicted no cry, ye beja or no akofie. What time was one hour report on one several sentence, but we judge so a flight to risk into our Gene passport. And our remanding no so many coffee. Until say November never saw best sentence no fully. Into them. And I make us an Irene, my usually obane but we now they will be the most impacted about Papa issue. But maybe them better politicians who are grateful and say because it appears to me that as a sacrificial lamb. Now because if you look at the way Africa politics any contract near they say they are awarding or not, there are bigger fishes there. It's possible so we investigation or better so actually other people said they are butrika no but in this case as a papa no kwani ahangeno. The other side of it is that share charges now or they charging more. Or no one so has a fiduciary responsibility to breach here. Fiduciary nature so a bank a jumayenia. It is a one bank no agency relationship be a meremuno ebusuambo bi damumu. Number 2, also na wako bank who school a unim bank who law and na unim say America law no near maybe one way jitum near maybe one way jintum into the moment of be breach no and yen na be sacrificial lamb won't so boom rano so because charges no more the born the first one guilty of conspiracy to violate US anti-bribery laws and no or no as a US banker or no as an American banker and American onim law way so that's one obligation no no share na we ase enti no en Ghana officials because Ghana officials no money US law ase but papa no say American citizens so count. Number 2 charges violating Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and also American law and also onim because as a banker he's aware of it nti ha no they say ya no sacrificial lamb ni bema enye ye because he has the fiduciary responsibility and our duty no. Third charge conspiracy to commit money laundering charges we nyina no jury no 9 days and omo dey deliberations 9 days omo di case no 3 hours no omo wie jury for ni nyina unanimously say oh you guilty odi for so enti utumo so ono wasoa ena waka na no atum because enyesa enka obobodin mum dey a enka ebia ebenya hwan official 1 official 2 official 3 sana FBI for level no say top government official and FBI for no reporter the bar court it was standard in evidence recording was say FBI for no nim FBI for no recording no apart from the emails no dey be afa Gmail ni ade omutumi nyaaye no recording no so the telephone conversation because the FBI in the State Department for reporters say covert recordings say all can say oh she carry do be in cash no obechiche ne cash ade amankofo and ombusa say ne obeyede na ne sako so omfa bank we enu to not say companies ni shell companies be ni America be different companies countries ni ade and sana ni na finalists can be do a oche e dey akoma omo into this is a very legally charged case but it's also politically charged because of the number of politicians whom say the FBI and State Department for reports say MPs whom state officials presidential staffers near the baby is a long list but Papano has protected all of them by keeping quiet. And here say the FBI forward there to omo amaka ni na obefre from because we doom so home contractor because na dey emergency situation you know na was searching na company solve doom so problem because we say na 2016 so ye beto aba nti pressure wa aban so nti between 2014 and 2015 basi 2016 then also by force to be solve energy crisis and who sika ni o FBI for no report mo mo chese mo ntimi account for ni na